Hey, listen to Commander Cookout Podcast, episode 386. I'm Brando. I'm here with Ryan, and we're going to continue the arc of the classics by sticking up for the little guy. Now, hit our theme song! Hey, Ryan. We're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
Good. What is going down?
Whole ton is going down. We're recording before we go off to host a super sweet Commander event put on by our good friends over at Face to Face. We got some people to thank, some stories to tell, a very cool deck to talk about, built by a friend, for a friend, of a friend, which is neat, I guess. But before we get to any of that, we have to thank our official business daddies, FusionGamingOnline.com. They're your source for all your gaming needs.
Very much so. I have got some news for you.
Uh-oh.
I did some pre-ordering for Commander Masties.
Oh, me too?
I went to FusionGamingOnline.com.
You're kidding me.
Used CCO Summer promo code.
Oh, what did that do for you?
Got a discount on all the stuff that I was going to buy anyways.
Wait a minute. You mean you bought things and paid less just because you typed in a word?
Did.
Dang.
CCO Summer, all caps, all one word, save money. You're going to buy the stuff, sealed, singles, gaming supplies, board games, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! They got it all. You're going to save money when you use it. If you're a first timer, if this is your first time in the nation,
Yeah.
CCO Nation, welcome. It's great to have you,
Ish.
sort of.
Yeah.
CCO Perks promo code. You spend over $100. Like, let's say you're from Canada and you're going to like buy a booster box,
Yeah.
or you want to buy a dual land or whatever. You use CCO Perks promo code, you're going to get 10% store credit kickback on your order that you can then spend next time and not spend any money.
Yeah.
Because you have store credit.
Yeah.
Good deal.
That's the best way to buy cards, is for free.
I love free.
I love free too. If you just show up, get cards, exchange no money, but you get cards, yeah, that's the way to do it.
That's how it works sometimes when we come to the studio and there's breakfast beer.
That's right, like today.
Yeah, fantastic. We've got a fantastic show today. We're continuing the arc of classics. We've got a little bit of podcast business. We've got a giveaway winner. We've got the aforementioned face-to-face games tour stop Saskatoon, where I'll be defending tooth and nail a giant Jeweled Lotus prize card. I told the showrunners this. I said, that card is mine. I'm playing to win it. It's Commander Master Sealed.
Yep.
I'm playing to win it, and I'm going to approach this sealed event, this tournament, as if it's mine and I'm defending it.
And not to put too many finer points on it or reveal the Commander Cookout official strategy, I have all the chaff from a box I opened with me right now, just to make sure that Ryan's deck is the best.
Yes. Yes, sir. That's going to be in the past of when this show comes out, so hopefully I did really well. Congratulations to me.
Yeah, man, this could be the very first time ever you've played a deck with 4 Sol Rings in it.
Oh, yeah, there's going to be 4 Sol Rings in my deck.
Oh, yeah, because I have 3 of them with me.
If I play 4 Sol Rings and open an Ulamog, he's my commander.
Yeah. Right?
Oh, man, 60-card deck, 1 Ulamog at my command.
Ooh.
Yeah, super cool.
That's all you need.
That's lots of fun. We've got a little bit of podcasting business, and then I want to explore what the arc of classics means.
Ooh.
More specifically, what is a classic deck to Uncle Brando? Like, what does it mean? I want to tie all these episodes, the arc of classics, together and explore and really advance the idea of what a classic means, right? Like, classic music, you have an idea of what that sounds like.
Yeah, terrible.
And what it looks like if you were to go and see an orchestra play.
Yeah.
Classic car, you have an idea of what that looks like.
Yeah.
And sounds like, and smells like, right?
Sure.
Traditional, I don't know, Italian cuisine. Like, you have an idea of what that smells like, tastes like. Right? Coke and Pepsi, right? And we're not going to get into that debate, but you have an idea in your mind.
Yeah.
So I want to advance that way of thinking, but with Commander decks, because the format's been around for frickin' like
long enough where you have classic stuff now.
Yeah, going on 2 decades, right? It's like cars from the 90s.
I think that's
classics.
Is that what pre-DH is?
No,
Where you can only play cards from before WotC officially started supporting the format or whatever?
Yeah, I guess that's what pre-EDH is before 2011 when the first Commander decks came out.
Yeah.
So before we get to it, though, we've got a couple patrons to thank.
Okay.
And a little Patreon update that I want to give to people.
Okay.
Contest winner or giveaway winner. Where do you want to start?
Let's dunk on people's names first.
Okay, let's dunk. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the benefits to becoming a patron over at patreon.com/CCO Podcast is you get a CCO nickname.
Lol.
You can use it in our Patreon exclusive Discord. I'm doing this thing like there's something on the screen.
Yeah, you'd be able to see it if you're watching on YouTube.
Yes.
Because it's good, and Joe works really hard to make us look cool. And that's not easy.
No, and we super appreciate Joe. Sometimes I tell him that even.
Yeah.
Like one time ever.
Oh, yeah. Like I told him that one time, and it really swelled his head. So now I talk shit about him all the time.
He submitted a deck for the Arca Classics. Maybe we'll look at it.
Is it disc golf themed?
Maybe?
Is it esports themed?
Probably.
Is every card in it named Joe?
Yes. Yes, it's all altars of... Oh, we should do it. All altars of persistent petitioners, but they're all scribbled out with pen and named Joe.
It's just him.
Just pictures of him taped to islands. Joe proxy deck. Yep, classic. Dunking on people's names.
Yes.
If you're a patron and you want a nickname, now's your opportunity. First patron. Oh. I know what your nickname's going to be.
Okay.
Dax Schaefer.
Dick Shaver. That's easy. That's super easy. What?
Mr. Shaver.
Yeah.
Welcome. I knew that was going to be it. I knew it.
Dick Shaver. I like
We've
saying
been doing it too long there,
That's
Uncle
even
Brando.
fun to say, yeah.
All right. Next patron.
Next patron.
Skylar Thoma? Or Toma?
What about like Kaikar hematoma? Goose injury.
Yes.
Because Kaikar is a goose, and
Yes.
hematoma, I think, is an injury, right? Goose injury. Goose damage. Gross.
There we go.
Yeah.
Kaikar hemorrhoid. That's definitely something you don't want.
No.
Unless you're a goose.
No, even if you're a goose, you don't want a hemorrhoid.
No, but I want you... We want gooses to have hemorrhoids.
Oh, I would love it if geese had hemorrhoids.
Yes. Okay.
Nasty bastards.
Skylar, thank you.
Yes.
And of course...
F you, buddy.
Very much so, yep. Now, the last one, this is a returner, but I've been getting a lot of messages both from people re-signing up and from Patreon directly because I guess they changed their home office from somewhere in the United States to like somewhere in Europe or something like that. Probably because, you know, capitalism and taxes and rich people stuff.
Yeah, they're trying
right?
to head, yeah.
But what that means is the place, the country, the origin of the bill on people's credit cards changed. So like everybody's Patreon declined it. So if you think that's you or you want to check and if you want to continue to support Commander Cookout,
which we appreciate,
please go and check that. Please do that because the Patreon support does help us with the bandwidth and the storage and shipping stuff to people and the booster pack game. The Patreon support helps with all of that.
Yeah.
And I think that Recta Telumbar did that already.
Rectum
something was the original nickname.
Rectum roll bar.
Rectum roll bar. That sounds like a wrestling move.
That's a good one for sure. Yeah.
Rectum roll bar. Is that like a drive-by on the apron? Or it's like a...
Except you punch him in the ass.
That's like when you... A rectum roll bar, is that like when you pull somebody's feet out from when they're on the outside of the apron and their ass lands right on the corner of the ring?
Ooh, yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, that
That's a rectum roll bar.
doesn't feel good at all. It's the hardest part of the ring, don't you know?
I'm aware.
Jeez.
So, big thanks to all the patrons. Big thank you if you go in there and fix Patreon's screw up.
It was nice of them to F all that up for everybody. That was great.
Well, yeah, and it was even nicer to them to not send us an email until Lara told me in the Discord. And then, like, 2 days later, I got an email about it. I was like, oh, okay, well, good thing I know about this from not you. Okay, we got a giveaway winner from last week's booster pack game. You let us know if you want a stinky old booster pack of regular old Magic cards.
You don't want that, though.
Commander Cookout sticker pack.
You probably want that.
That's a good one. You can put them on your deck boxes, your quivers, You could
your forehead, your friend's forehead,
your butt cheeks.
Yeah, we've been running into them in the wild just at bars, which is cool.
Yeah, super cool. Because lots of people in Saskatoon have no idea that we do Commander Cookout.
Yeah,
but lots of people do. They put our stickers about the place. Yeah, or you can get a CCO token pack.
Yes, which is also good, equally as good to a sticker pack.
Yeah, because you can use them in games.
Yeah.
So the winner, guessing both Rayhan and Jeskai from last week, double entries. Richard McNuts. I know Richard's won in the past, but Richard's name as one of the guessers who got it right won.
Is he in any way associated with Aaron McNutt?
Oh, nutception.
That would be neat, hey?
What if it's the same person?
Probably not, though.
I don't think
Probably
Aaron McNutt
isn't.
listens, no. But she should. And so should everybody. So if
yeah.
you're out there in CCO Nation listening to Commander Cookout, you share the show. Bring it to your LGS. Say, hey, these are good guys. You should listen to them. Or tell your play group. Or tell your family. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Especially your mom. We want your mom to listen.
Oh, yeah. My mom used to listen.
Why doesn't she anymore?
I don't know.
What, she too good for us now?
I don't know if she knows how podcasts work anymore now that it's like... I guess it never changed.
Nothing changed.
Oh, no.
What? Nothing is different.
She got tired of my shit. So, today, we've got a deck.
A deck.
Submitted by good friend, though it isn't his, Aaron Carr R. Aaron Carr submitted this deck. It's his wife Amy's, built by friend and editor of the show, T. Coates, and Amy on the plane ride home from somewhere or something. I don't know.
Probably from... Wait, no, because I've played against this, so it couldn't have been Edmonton.
Maybe from Vegas?
Maybe from Vegas.
Because Tyler's been to Vegas.
Yeah, at least once.
Yeah, he's just never been to Seattle. Yeah. So Tyler and Amy built this. Aaron wanted to submit it because it seems as though, and from reading his little write-up, it's a great deck. Slaps lips, stomps dinks, pounds your pecker through your asshole. Like, I don't know. I punched the mic. Sorry. You're probably going to have to fight with that. But it's Magus Lucea Kane.
Magus Lucea Kane.
Did I get it all? Is that all those words are correct?
That is what all those words say.
All the Warhammer people are going to tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah. She's a Warhammer 40K, 50K?
78K.
78K commander from the Tyrannid deck. We're going to talk about Tyrannids here in a second.
Yep.
She costs Temur and 1 for a 1/1.
Oh, I like it already.
What the hell?
Gives me Animar vibes.
At the beginning of combat on your turn, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature.
Mm-hmm.
And she has tap, add, colorless. And then the next spell you cast that has X in its cost, you copy the spell.
Or ability. Yeah. So if you do X stuff, you can now copy it. And
Double X stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's almost...
Yeah, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's like 2X whiskey, like on the jug. It's got like 2 X's on it.
Oh, we are going in different directions.
Are we? Where were you going?
I was thinking different things that have X's in them.
Okay.
Possibly 3 X's.
Like 3X moonshine?
Nope.
Man, that's some deliverance shit. Yeah. You drink that, you're going to look all weird, and you're going to be real good at playing the banjo.
Yeah,
that's what 3X whiskey gets you.
You frickin' drink it out of a jar.
Yeah.
I can't say I've ever done that.
You take a jar, you put it in an old bathtub that's out behind the shed.
Oh, yeah.
3X moonshine, baby.
I've been to people's houses that brew like dandelion wine in their bathtub and stuff.
It's messed up.
I don't recommend smelling the insides of those houses.
Yes.
No.
Or drinking that wine. Dandelions are gross.
Lots of people have like dandelion leaves on their salad. Very bitter.
That's messed up.
Very bitter.
I know that they're not an invasive weed species everywhere that they are, but here they are, and they suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't like dandelions very much.
It's a thing. So we got Magus. I want to call it Magnus, but it's Magus.
Magus. That's not her name. That's her title. It's a title.
Oh yeah.
Her name is Lucea Kane, but her title Lucea Kane. Lucea.
That's probably what it is, actually.
Whatever.
So we got Magus Lucea Kane. This is a classic deck of Amy's, and we're going to explore why this deck is a classic. But before we do, I want to talk a little bit about what makes any deck a classic deck. What do you think are some of the reasons that a deck would be called a classic?
2 things.
2 things.
Oh,
okay.
man, I put my fingers up real fast.
Uncle Brando's 2-finger emporium.
That's right.
Ooh,
That's how we do.
Do not Google.
Whatever, you can Google it.
Sure.
What's Brando going to do with 2 fingers? Google it and tell me. Let me know what Google says to you. There's 2 things. One is it's a deck that you've had for a long time.
Okay.
You love it. You're always kind of updating it. You always look forward to playing it. Or people that kind of associate it with you, right? I have Norin like
that's
that.
a good one.
Right?
Hey, I didn't think of that one.
And it's just, they're ones that are just, they're always in your orbit. They're always there. You're always kind of thinking about it in the back of your mind. Is this card going to go in the deck? I think that makes it like a personal classic or a classic to people that you play with.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is that I think that at this point, because Commander is such an old format, I think that I think that there is some established classic type of decks. Like this is a
like the strategy or the archetype.
This is a mono blue control deck. This is a giant creature beater deck. This is right. This is goblins. This is elves.
and that even goes back farther in time to
like,
classic fantasy tropes like elves and goblins and dragons. Yeah. Like if I said this is like a very traditional dragon deck. Yeah. Well, dragons kind of have that 5-color thing now, but a very traditional goblin deck looks like mono red goblins.
Yeah,
like Elf Ball traditionally in Magic's past has been mono green. Yeah. Now it's green black. Mm-hmm. Which I do appreciate branching out and exploring more color identity, and that's what keeps Magic interesting and fresh and dynamic and gets new people in, because there's like dark elves now or 5-headed dragons that are rainbow colored, right? Like right. And then you capture the D&D crowd with that too. And
exactly.
It's like, okay, it's a classic there, it's a classic here.
Good old Tiamat.
Okay, so it's been around.
Yep.
It's associated with you. I really like that one. That's a little bit how I feel with Lord of Tressorhorn now, because it's been around for so long, and not everybody has that. Mm-hmm. But to me, it's one of my mainstays. Yeah. And it's fucking bad. But Animar's like that with me too, because everybody wants to see it because it's all painted. Yeah. Right? And it's a CEDH deck, and it's a classic because it was printed in 2011 at the start of the Commander format when WotC kind of took over, right? Yeah. So what else do I got here?
Just as an aside, I remember when those decks first got printed, I was like, damn it, why does WotC play, like they just printed the most powerful commanders into Commander. Damn it. And everybody was like, no, Brando, they're not doing that. And look at Animar now.
Well, not the most powerful commander, but certainly a powerful combo-tastic and good. Has all the right colors to do all the creature stuff. Yeah. Still good, yeah.
Who else was in that thing, that run? The Angel Demon Dragon lady?
Yep, Kalia of the Vast. Gave, Guru of Spores.
Which is also one that's like...
a very...
oops, I won.
Very synonymous with combos. Zedru the Great-Hearted.
That one didn't age very well.
No, that's the giveaway we both draw cards guy.
Yeah.
Ruhan of the Fomori. He's like a 7/7 Rhino, attacks somebody at random each turn.
Yeah.
But for 4 mana.
Indestructible on your turn.
I freaking... oh, no, that's Zurgo.
Zurgo
Helm Smasher. Who else was in there? Riku of 2 Reflections.
Yeah, he kind of fell out too, yep.
Yeah. There's just better ways to copy stuff in Temur now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Lucea Kane.
Like Lucea Kane, yeah.
So, classic reliability.
Yeah.
Both in the way that the deck performs, the strategy that it enacts or is doing, and also the way that it makes you feel will reliably and consistently deliver you what you like about playing the Commander format. I think those are all things that are important as far as classics go.
I concur.
What about scalability? How far up or down the power level scale can we play this? Is that something that matters?
I don't think that makes something a classic deck, because some classic decks are just terrible.
Yeah,
right.
See Lord of Tressorhorn and my Animar deck. Very opposite ends of how much winning they do.
Yeah, and like even when you scale down Animar to make it bad, it's still probably gonna stomp somebody's face off.
Yeah, getting stuff for free is always good.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Now, so is copying.
Yes, copying things are very good.
Copying is now a strategy in red and blue for sure, right? With forks and twin casts and I don't know, whatever other copy spells you have. But green or Temur in particular is getting more and more copy type stuff like Calamax, like Lucea Kane, right?
You can play every single clone in this deck except for Evil Twin.
Oh, yes, Evil Twin. It's the outlier.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I wish that wasn't black. I want to play Evil Twin in my all clones deck. I would like to do that very much.
Yeah, black, sniff my crack. So I guess here's the thing. We're going to flip over to cards.
Yeah, we are.
We're going to look at what makes this deck special, because we didn't really say yet. All you know is that we're going to be doing X stuff.
Yes.
And it's going to be fantastic. So let's hop over and take a look.
Let's do that.
Okay, peep this. We're going to start with the ramp. I'm going to go through some cards, and then we're going to go back to a couple cards.
Okay.
We got Rampy Growth,
Yep.
Arcane Signet, this Elemental's Palette, sure, Animist Awakening, Rampant Rejuvenator, Soul Ring, Great Henge. Does that count? It counts. Gives you mana. And a +1 counter, which is going to be important.
Yes.
So I want to go back to Shadow of the Warp. You like this card in our Warhammer Close Look.
Sure did.
Give it a read.
Shadow of the Warp is an enchantment for Gruul and 1. The first creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less, and whenever an opponent casts their first non-creature spell each turn, it 2s them.
Oh.
It's pretty good.
The first creature spell costs 2 less.
Yep.
Important when we're doing X stuff.
Yes.
Because you declare what the value of X is. Let's say it's 10, but I only have 8 mana to pump into it.
Yep.
I say 10. Tap 8 mana, and my 10 is reduced by 2.
That's right.
So my 8 mana checks out.
Flawless.
Okay. Biophagus. I have no idea.
Biophagus, I believe, is what that is. I like this card lots.
Yeah, this is a good one. I remember painting this one and wanting to keep it.
It's a 1/3 for green 1. It has tap, add 1 mana of any color. If this mana is spent to cast a creature, the creature comes into play with an additional +1/+1 counter on it.
Sure.
Which is pretty dope.
Do I wish that this card was a 1/1 that costed green, because then it would go right into Animar.
We're going to go back to Elementalist's Palette, right? Because that's a cool card.
Are we? Sure.
And because we don't play it very much. You don't see it often. It's an artifact for 3, so 3 mana rock. Whenever you cast a spell with X in its mana cost, you get 2 charge counters on it. You can tap it for a mana of any color, or you can tap it for a colorless for each charge counter on it.
Ooh.
But you can only use that to pay X. But in this deck, we're paying X a lot.
We're doing X stuff.
Yeah. So I like that one. I don't think it gets played enough, probably because you put it in decks like this.
Yes, okay. We got Nexos. This is a human Tyranid advisor. 2/2 for 2. Basic lands you control have add colorless, spend this mana only on X.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And then we've got, and this might be cat out of the bag early, but we're doing it.
Yep.
Gargos Vicious Watcher.
Man, that card is dope.
Oh, yeah. So Hydra players are going to know what this is about. And we're going to look at some cards that have something in common with Gargos in a few minutes. This is an 8/7 Hydra with Vigilance for 6. Like what?
An 8/7 Vigilance for 6.
Hydra spells you play cost
4.
What?
4.
4? I was going to say 2, but no, I'd be wrong.
Yeah, 4.
It's 4 less to cast.
Yeah.
So look back on what I said about X.
Yeah.
It works with X the way you want it to.
Yes, it does.
Also, whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell in particular, Gargos Vicious Watcher fights up to 1 target creature you don't control.
Dang.
Yeah, he's like, don't mess around with my homies.
Yeah.
I will stomp on your wiener.
I will find you.
Yes.
And I will mess up your life.
Yes, sir. Okay, so a little bit, you see some hints of things that could be Hydra. Do you want to read Rampant Rejuvenation? Rejuvenator?
It is a Hydra, but it's also not a Hydra in the classic sense. So
Okay.
it's a 0/0 for green 3. Comes into play with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. When it eats shit, you search your library for up to X basic lands where X is its power. Then put them into play. Not tapped. Put them into play.
Oh, yeah. So it kind of gives me Skyshroud Claim vibes.
Yes.
Or
Man, yeah, it's a Skyshroud
Explosive
Claim that
Veg.
can beat the crap out of somebody. That's
but
awesome.
only when it dies and you want to put +1s on it. So again, we're seeing +1s be important.
Yes.
Okay.
There's our ramp section.
Yeah. Let's move to the, what do you want? Card draw, removal?
Let's do some card draw. Then we'll go to removal after that.
Sure.
Because there's some cool cards in here. Let's start with Bread for the Hunt.
B for the H. This is an enchantment for 3. Whenever a creature you control with a +1 counter on it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card.
Easy as pie.
Yeah, Ophidian for like all our guys.
Let's talk about another Hydra in Thunderous Snapper.
This.
Oh.
Okay. Serious time.
Yes.
Simic. Turtle Hydra. That's why it's in here, because it's a freaking turtle, and Tyler likes turtles.
And it's a Hydra, so it's on theme.
Sure. Whenever you cast a spell with converted mana cost 5 or greater, draw a card.
Now, the declared value of X contributes to the converted mana cost of a card.
When it's on the stack, which is when this checks because it says cast. Listen to us being all technical.
Yeah.
AKA, this works with X the way you want it to.
Yes.
Okay.
Pull from tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I'll be pulling from tomorrow when I see Snapper. Draw X, then discard a measly card. This is an instant, mind you, for blue X.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Kiora Behemoth Beckoner.
I like this card. This is the card I said I liked in the pre-show. 7 loyalty, 3 mana planeswalker. That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
You got -1 to untap target permanent. And remember, we can untap our commander and get an additional 2 mana. And then we can use that mana to double our Hydra or double our X spell again.
Yes.
That's really good. So we get 3 copies of a Hydra or 3 copies of that pull from tomorrow,
Yeah, man.
etc. But wait, there's more. Whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card.
Neat.
This works with your X Hydras
The way you want it
to. Okay.
Blue Sun's Zenith.
This is draw X or pay X, draw X. So see what I said about Kiora and Magus Lucea 10 seconds ago.
Ponder. Like, why is Ponder in here? I don't get it.
What? Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put them back in any order. You may shuffle, draw a card. Maybe because there's nothing that this deck wants to do or can do in the early game.
But Ponder?
I play spells like this in my Cascade deck for that reason.
Let's play Explore. Then it gets you to the late game faster.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'd do.
Explore, yeah.
Garrick's Uprising.
Oh, yeah. And when Garrick's Uprising enters the battlefield, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, which you probably will, draw a card. Creatures you control have Trampski.
Also good.
Yep. Whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card.
That's an underrated gem there.
Yeah, I like that one.
Drown in Dreams.
Oh, this is my favorite card of the deck. Okay. Instant, blue, 2X. Choose one. If you control your commander, ding, 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 ding. Both. Target player draws X cards. So this is probably what you're playing this card for in this deck.
That's why it's in the draw section.
It's another version of Pull from Tomorrow and Blue Sun's Zenith in that when we use Lucea Kane's ability, we can draw X times 2. Very good. Also, target player mills twice X cards. So what if X is 10? They would mill 20, and then Lucea Kane would double it. They would mill 40.
It's pretty good.
I don't think it's unreasonable to have X equal 10 when in casual and this is Hydra.deck, you're wanting to reach the late game.
Yes.
And with 11 ramp spells and your commander, and some of those being able to reduce costs or add 2 mana when you tap them, I don't think X equals 10 is unreasonable.
Not in any way.
So X equals 10, you're going to mill 40. You are going to have 7 out of your opener, 8 out of your opener. So that's 48.
It's half a deck.
That's half a deck right there, nearly. And then if it's turn 10 by the time that happens, because remember, casual, it's 58.
Yep.
Is there any way we can get this back and do that again and get the rest of them?
No.
Oh, frick.
No.
Okay.
Hydroid Krasis.
Oh, yeah, here we go. 0-0. Here's our first Hydra. No, it isn't. Here's our third Hydra. This is a good one, though. 0-0. When you cast this spell, you gain half X life and draw half X cards rounded down each time. Unless, frickin' we're copying this. One would die, but we would draw and gain.
Why would one of them die?
Because it's not legendary. I thought this was legendary.
No, you just think it's legendary because it has that big ass balloon.
Yeah, I love a good big ass balloon.
I love that this thing is like a dirigible that attacks. It's like a war blimp.
Yes.
With snake heads. That's awesome.
Yep. So you draw and gain. It's got flying trample, enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. Can we just call that Hydra?
That is Hydra, yes. In much the same way that when a snake hits something, it taps it and it doesn't untap. That's snake.
Yes.
Or when vampires damage a player, they get a +1/+1 counter. That's vampire.
Yes.
Hydra comes into play with X +1/+1 counters on it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Last card in the draw section is Temur Ascendancy.
It's a good one.
This is a very good card.
It's a good one. Creatures you control have haste.
Nice.
That's good already. It
Yep.
costs Temur for an enchantment, just red, blue, green. Whenever a creature of power 4 or greater enters the B under your control, draw a card.
Easy.
This is a May too, so if you went infinite, you wouldn't deck yourself. just throwing that out
Just
there.
in case we go infinite with our Hydra deck.
I don't think that we do,
No.
though you could.
Though you probably could. Let's go with the removal
Let's
section.
look at some removies.
We have the first instant of WotC trying to convince us as Magic players to not play Hydras anymore.
Huh?
Yeah, they're trying to phase them out.
Pourquoi?
It is a conspiracy to take down the Hydra players.
Jeez.
WotC
you
hates
give Uncle Brando one beer for breakfast and we're full conspiracy.
Full conspiracy mode. And here's why. Here's why. It's an aberrant from the Tyrannid deck, Warhammer 40k. They do essentially what Hydras do because they all have Hydra, but they also have an ability called Ravenous, where if you've Hydra'd hard enough, you also draw a card.
If X is 5 or more, you draw a card when it ETBs. That's what Ravenous is.
Yeah.
So if we say Ravenous and Hydra, you know that it's going to ETB with X counters, and if X is greater than 5, draw a card.
Yes.
Now, is X has to be greater than 5? It's not like we can't get a +1 from a different thing, right?
Correct.
Yes, so X
Has to be
is
5 or more.
or more.
Yep.
Draw a card. Okay.
And this one's it's an XX with trample. Whenever aberrant deals combat damage to a player, destroy target
Artifact or enchantment that player
yeah,
controls.
artifact.
So
I thought it was
disenchants.
non-creature, but it's a disenchantment. Hit somebody.
Disenchants when it pounds your face in. Okay.
We have an Aetherize, one of the sexiest arts in Magic that doesn't have Rada Heir to Keld on it.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. Oh. Instant for 4. Return all attacking creatures to their owner's hand.
Oh.
I need a foil one of these for Bruvac. You got one?
I don't actually think I own this card.
I don't know.
Curse of Swine.
Curse of your mother's a huge ass. Exile X. Hey, it's got an X in it, so we can copy that. That's
right.
cool. Exile X, target creature. For each creature exiled this way, its controller gets a 2/2 green boar creature token.
I like that card.
I like this card when I exile all my own guys and I get all the pigs and they all have haste. And then you just win.
But your Hydras are probably bigger than pigs, though.
Well, probably, but what if they're like tapped or stunned or can't attack or they're goaded and you don't want to attack like the person who you have to attack?
I mean, I guess.
There's reasons to pig yourself.
There are.
I don't know what that means, but
There's also regions to breach hulls with hull breach.
oh, I love a good breach. Yeah, unless it's
Underwear breach?
yeah.
Because you're pooping.
Choose one. This is sorcery though. Well, it's fine.
Hull breach is good.
Choose one. Destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, destroy target artifact and target enchantment.
I love that the third mode is both.
Yes.
Right? That's the best.
Nowadays, these are templated as choose one or more. But it's kind of important that this is choose one, because if we were to copy this, you copy exactly the modes that you chose,
Yes.
right? Mm-hmm. I don't know how that's relevant, actually.
I wish it was choose one or more, but it was worded exactly the same. So you can kill an artifact, an enchantment, and an artifact, and an enchantment.
no,
you kill 4 things.
That's
That'd be
too good.
so good.
That's too good.
Oh, man. That's
too
a
good.
Gruul card, baby.
Yep.
Another Hydra in Polukranos World Beater.
Polukranos, world beater. 5/5 for green 2. Monstrosity. This time, Monstrosity X.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do we copy that with
Yes.
Lucea Kane? Does she copy abilities?
Copies abilities as well.
There we go, yeah. So Monstrosity X, you pay X and XX green, and you put X +1s on it, and now it is monstrous.
Yes. And you do X damage divided as you choose among things.
When it becomes monstrous.
Yeah. So
Sure.
it sucky fights things. I don't really like I don't like this card very much.
Polukranos or Polukranos. I'm not sure
Yeah,
that
it's just-
there's ever been a pronunciation guide.
It's just not my jam.
I say it both ways, though.
Don't even say because I don't play. We have a Beast Within.
Beast Within.
Steelbane Hydra. This is cool.
Oh, yeah. Here's another turtle.
Yep.
It's the Tyler special.
T-Coat special.
Yep. It's got Hydra. It's a 0/0. Green X. And it goes green 2, remove a +1 counter from it, destroy an artifact or enchantment.
I like that card.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I like that one.
Yes.
And the last one.
And I do have to say, I have done an alter on this card where, you do the border extension, you make it look like an altered card, but then I put the Ninja Turtle headbands on each of those guys.
I was going to say, did you put the turtle headbands on them?
Yes, I
That'd be
did.
cool.
Yes, I did.
Last card in the section is Klauth's Will.
Oh, yeah, here we go. This is an X. This is X, red, green, instant. Choose one if you control a commander. Both.
Love that.
Both. Klauth's Will deals X damage to each creature without flying.
Earthquake.
Yeah, it's good. Our Hydras are probably fine,
Yes.
though it would kill our commander. Destroy up to X target artifacts and enchantments.
Also good.
Also good. Yeah, there we go.
So now we've done removal. Let's do protection. That's really quick. There's 4 cards
Yeah,
in
sure.
there. We'll start with, again, another elitist Hydra in Tyrant Guard.
Oh, yeah, this is a Tyrannid. It's got Ravenous. So you draw a card off of this, maybe, if it's big enough. It starts as a 3/3 for 3, full stop, though.
Yeah.
And then X is Hydra,
Yes.
right? And sacrifice Tyrant Guard. Creatures you control with counters on them gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn.
So your Hydras.
Yeah, I kind of like that card. If that mother ass had Flash, man, would that be good in Animar, hey?
Yeah.
Because you cast it, draw a card just for frickin' green, and then it's a beater or a blocker that actually gives Animar hexproof as
It's
well.
super duper blocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, but don't go Flash, so I don't play it.
Inspiring Call. That's another good one.
Draw a card for each creature you control with a +1 counter on it. Those creatures gain indestructible until end of turn.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I wish it cost green 1. It cost green 2, but
Oh, man. Rhythm of the Wild.
Rhythm of the Wild. Okay, I'm going to try this again. Because
'Kay.
I always get this one wrong. I'm going to read the card
Okay.
this time instead of just trying to know what it does.
Yeah.
Creature spells you control can't be countered.
Excellent.
I'm doing good so far?
Yep.
Non-token creatures you control have Riot.
Hell yeah.
That means they enter the battlefield with your choice of a +1 counter or haste.
Yeah.
We like both of those options.
Yeah. Both.
Yeah,
There we go.
We're going to get both out of this card regardless.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
And the last one is Heroic Intervention. We all know that's
Hexproof
good.
and indestructible for your guys.
Everybody knows that business.
Sure.
What should we do next?
wanna-
should we melt faces or talk Hydras?
I want to talk Hydras because the face melters in this deck are really the cherry on top of the cake.
They're pretty good, yes. Let's talk about some Hydras. We're going to start with Ren's Run Hydra.
Okay. It's got Hydra, but also reinforce for green X, which is green X, discard this card, put X +1 counters on target creature.
Neat.
So this acts as a spell, and it is an ability, so Magus Lucea Kane would copy it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And you could also, like, Hydra one of your non-Hydras. You could turn
Ooh.
Magus Lucea Kane into a Hydra.
Oh, that's important for like Klauth's Will and stuff, keeping her alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Feral Hydra.
It's got Hydra, and you can go 3, put a +1 counter on Feral Hydra, and just because you're a nice guy, any player can activate that ability.
Why is that? Why? Who's going to do that?
Maybe for political reasons, or to be able to take a player out, or if it's got haste and trample, etc.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, fine. Hydra Broodmaster. This thing is dope.
Hydra Bootmaster. This is a 7/7 Monstrosity X Hydra for 6. So remember, Monstrosity, you pay and make it bigger, then it becomes monstrous.
Yep.
And when it does, you create XX green Hydra creature tokens.
Oh, baby.
I would refrain from Googling XXX Hydra.
Yes.
You'll
don't-
probably get things with
No.
tentacles and
And nobody wants that.
crying.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Apocalypse Hydra. This is a good one.
I like this one. Yeah, it's got Hydra, and if X is 5 or greater, it enters with an additional X.
Yes.
So you
So-
could double it and also double it with your commander and its own ability.
Yes.
And then you go red 1, remove a +1. It deals a damage to any target.
That's cool. I like that card a lot. I like the picture on it. I really like Apocalypse Hydra. Even if
Yep.
I never play it, I'm glad somebody is. Savage Born Hydra.
Savage Born Hydra got Hydra, and you can go Girl Hybrid 1, put a +1 counter on Savage Born Hydra, activate this ability only at the time you can do sorcery, and it's got double strike.
That's pretty
It's
good.
got double pump chump.
That was back when WotC was really afraid of double strike, and they didn't want you to combat trick. Oh, you're not going to block my Savage Born Hydra? Lol, I'm going to pump it and make it giant and kill you with it.
Yes.
Because WotC was like, ooh, double strike is too strong. Creatures that have it have to cost 1,000 mana.
Can you imagine putting 1,000 into a Savage Born Hydra?
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Do so much damage.
Yes.
Ca-
Yes. Try.
Capricopian?
Capricopian's got to be it.
Is it a goat? Is it a goat Hydra?
It's a bunch of things, I
What
think.
the hell is this? Where did this come from?
This is a Commander deck thing.
Where does it live? What world is that from?
Most likely Theros. Or a Korea.
What the
Capricopian enters battlefield with X+1s on it because it's a Hydra. You can go 2, put a +1 counter on it, then you may reselect which player Capricopian is attacking. Only the player Capricopian is attacking may activate this ability, and only during the declare attacker's step. So I go, Uncle Brando, I'm going to attack you with Capricopian. You go, 2, I'll make it bigger. Now it's going to attack F.U. Jesse.
And I would do that every time. Also.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
I would attack you because you have mana open, just because I know you do that.
Mana Gorger Hydra.
This has got not Hydra. This is a 1/1 for 3 with trample. 1/1s with trample. Hey, Llanowar Elite, stand up. And it's got whenever a player casts a spell, put a +1 on it. Man, I lost to this card bad the other day.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was like 17-17, and then the guy was like, all my creatures has double strike, and I'm
Yep.
like, or no, it was double combat.
Okay.
Yeah, it was double combat. So he attacked me, and then he attacked somebody else, and we both died.
Dang. All right, not a Hydra, but a Hydra adjacent alien in Zoanthrope.
Zoanthrope. I don't know what that prefix or suffix means.
Yep.
0/0 with Hydrid. Hydrid? Ravenous? Sure. Flying, Ward 2. When Zoanthrope enters the battlefield, it deals X to any target. Ooh, that's good.
That's a cool
That's
card.
a win con.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna copy that when X equals 10, and somebody's gonna die.
Yeah.
Or somebody's plural.
Yes. Some bodies. Not somebody is, but some bodies, yes. Vastwood Hydra.
Vastwood Hydra. Got Hydra. When it dies, you may distribute a number of +1s equal to the number of +1s that were on it to any number of creatures.
That's cool. You can
So
spread the love.
It's got modular Hydra?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good.
Torian Mauler.
That's a Hydra.
Yes, it is.
Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you put a +1 on it.
It's basically shitty Mana Gorger Hydra.
Yes.
Yes.
No Trampsky on that one.
Hungering Hydra.
Hungering Hydra. This got Hydra. Can't be blocked by more than one creature. Sure. When it's dealt damage, put that many counters on it. Ooh, that's like the Hercules cuts the head off of one and it gets 2 more.
That's right.
Like, yeah, okay.
Mistcutter Hydra.
Can't be countered.
Yeah.
So if you're going to spend 10 mana on a creature, better not be countered.
This would be a good one, yeah.
This would be a good one. Protection from blue. Haste. Man, they really don't like freaking blue mages in
Right.
Hydraland, do they? And enters battlefield with X+1s.
Protean Hydra.
Protein. Got Hydra. If damage would be dealt to Protean Hydra, prevent that damage and remove that many +1s from it. So it gets smaller when it gets damaged.
Oh, but wait.
But wait, there's more.
Yes.
Whenever a +1/+1 counter is removed from Hydra, put 2 +1 counters. This is getting your head chopped off and growing 2 more.
Yes.
This is what that is.
And it's an end of turn, so that's how it dies. Like,
Sure.
If it dies in combat, it still dies, but if it doesn't die at the end of turn, it becomes much more difficult to
yes,
kill.
you have to kill it or else it gets twice as big.
Voracious Hydra.
Voracious Hydra. Oh man, look at all the words on this one. So this is like your classic green does everything, right? Like Questing Beast and yeah. Okay. So it says 0/1 Hydra for green X with trample enters the battlefield with X+1s. When it enters the battlefield, choose one. Double the number of +1s on it, or it fights something.
Oh, man, that's good.
Yeah, I like that one.
I like that one lots. Shivan Devastator. Here's a new one.
This is a Dragon Hydra.
Yeah,
A
buddy.
D Hydra. It's got Hydra, because of course it does. Flying and haste.
Yeah.
So this is a flying Hydra. A Flydra.
Flydra.
Oh, I went there. Oh, I got there. It's got Flydra.
How about Lifeblood Hydra?
Lifeblood Hydra. Oh, this guy's getting his head chopped off right in the picture.
Yep, 2 of them.
Oh, wow.
No blood, though.
When
What
he-
a weak ass.
When he dies, you draw cards equal to his power.
And
And he's got Hydra.
you gain life.
Wait,
gain life and draw cards equal to its power when he dies.
What?
Yeah.
Lifeblood Hydra?
Yeah.
Enters battlefield with X+1 on it?
When it dies, you gain
Oh.
life and draw cards equal to its power.
Yep, when it dies, I skipped right to the next line.
Yep.
You gain life and draw cards equal to its power. Didn't read that middle part, just the start and the end of the sentence, and I thought I knew exactly what it did.
Mythic. We're doing the Mythic now in Colonian Hydra.
Oh, yeah, an M14 Mythic. I can't wait for what this is.
I'll bet you it's just amazing, hey?
This is a 0/0 for 5. No X in the cost.
Does not have Hydra.
We're doing good so far.
Okay.
Trample.
Sure.
0/0 with trample. Stand up.
Yeah, here we go. This is it.
Attacks your opponent, they gain life. Okay. Enters battlefield with 4+1s on it. So it's a 4/4 trampler for 5. Whenever it attacks, double the amount of +1s on it.
See, we were talking like it was going to be bad, and then it wasn't.
That's actually
That's
good.
really good.
Can you imagine? Okay, there's this card that we talk about in CCO Nation a lot that's actually, I think it's underrated. I'm not sure if many people talk about it. It's called Doubling Season.
Oh, yeah. Like, virtually nobody plays that.
We'll have
I think
to-
that's why they're reprinting it so often now, so that people can just realize that maybe it's okay. It's an okay card.
I wonder when we're going to get there with a Zatalpa. That's funny. I lost a Zatalpa the other day. Fuck, I lose lots. Eh? That's all my stories. Oh, yeah. So I was getting my dink stomped one time. It was great.
So Colonian Hydra, very good.
Yeah.
Metallic Mimic.
Metallic Mimic. This is one of the most expensive cards in the deck.
Yeah.
It's $11. It enters the battlefield. Choose a creature type. You choose Hydra, probably, or Tyrannid. It is the chosen type in addition to other types.
Mm-hmm.
Each other creature you control of that type enters the battlefield with a +1 counter on it.
Yeah.
Maybe you choose Tyrannid because your commander's a Tyrannid and you're going to get tertiary benefit.
You know what I'd play instead of this? Tribute to the World Tree.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Draws you cards, and it makes your dudes big if they're small.
If they ETB and are small, they get big.
Yes.
And if they're big, you draw a card.
Yes. If they're 3, you draw. If they're 3 or more, you draw a card. If they're less than 3, they become 3.
There you go.
You could play your Hydras without paying any mana for them.
And they become 3/3s.
And they're 3/3s.
You just go green X = 0, they're 3/3s.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
It takes away the benefit that your commander's providing you.
That's true, but
That's fine.
it's medium.
No,
No, it doesn't.
you go tap Magus Lucea Kane with Tribute to the World Tree. You go X = 1, but on 2 different Hydras, and they both get copied. And they both end up being 3/3s anyways. So then you have 4 3/3s.
Neat.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, see, you're super smart.
There you go.
Primordial Hydra.
Primordial Hydra's got Hydra. At the beginning of your upkeep, double the +1s on it. And also, as long as there are 10 or more, it has trample.
That's okay. I think that's a bad mythic.
I don't know.
I like Colonian Hydra way better.
Probably going to have trample.
Probably.
And it's probably going to just double its counters all the time. Like every card in this deck, because it scales up to the end game really well, every card in the deck is something that you have to remove or it will kill you.
Yes.
Anything that says double on it, whether it's
Yes.
double strike, double the counters, or doubling season.
Yeah, you kill all those
probably
things.
want to have all those things dead, right? It's something about that word, right?
And the last of the Hydras is a Benevolent Hydra.
Oh, he's a 1/1 for green X with Hydra. If 1 or more +1s we put on another creature you control, that many +1 is instead.
Yes.
That would be Hardened Scales.
Correct.
This is Hardened Hydra. Why didn't they call him that? I don't know, because he's benevolent.
Because of the last ability.
Also, tap, remove a +1 from Benevolent Hydra, put a +1 on another target creature.
So he's like, hey, little small friend, I am large and you are small. I will help you become big like me.
Yes.
That's what he says.
So essentially, like if I got one of those 3/3 Hydras we were just talking about, I could tap this guy to remove a counter, and that 3/3 would become a 5/5.
Yes.
That 3/3 Primordial Hydra is become 5/5, 10/10, 20/20
Yes,
over the course of 3 turns.
correct.
Okay.
Yes, that is.
I'm okay with this.
Yes, it's very good. So that is our Hydra package.
Now,
Those are all the heads.
baby,
Now it's
let's
time.
see how we are going to take all that head and
Make somebody just gag on it.
I was going to say give it to somebody, but we just went in different directions. is all.
Sure did, yep. We're going to talk about a card that I totally forgot about, and as soon as I get home, I'm going to see if I own one.
This card's good.
I like this card.
Yeah.
Kami of Whispered Hopes.
Kami of Whispered Gags. I don't know what that sounds like, but it's a 1/1 spirit for 3. If one or more +1s would be put on a permanent you control, that many +1. So it's a hardened scales.
Yep.
Also, add X mana of any one color where X is Kami of Whispered Butthole's power.
I like that.
So if he's big, he can give you lots of mana. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Next up, we have a Screamer Killer.
Screamer Killer. Ah, okay.
Don't Google that.
No. 5-drop, 5/5, Tyrannid, Trample. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, it deals 5 damage to any target.
That's crazy.
So,
so good.
This works with X the way you want it to.
Yes, it does.
That's the theme of the day.
The first Tyrannic War.
Ooh. This is Temur and 2 for a Saga. Chapter 1. Put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. If mana cost contains X, it enters the battlefield with a number of +1 counters on it equal to the number of lands you control.
That's a good one.
So it cheats X, but still gives you your mana.
That's right.
Okay. Chapter 2 and 3, double the amount of each kind of counter on target creature you control.
Yes.
Yeah, it says double on it.
It does say double on it.
And it lets you do the X thing anyways. This works with X the way you want it to.
Winged Hive Tyrant.
Another Tyrannid. Other creatures you control with counters on them have flying and haste. Oh.
That's a good one.
Okay.
I love Winged Hive Tyrant.
Okay.
You know what else? Oh, man. This card is miserable to try and manage, but it's so good.
Oh, yeah.
Tyrannid Prime.
This guy's got dice all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay. This is 0/4 Tyrannid for blue-green 1, and it has Evolve. So that's a triggered ability that says whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if that creature has greater power or toughness than this creature, put a +1 counter on this creature.
Right.
So it's a 0/4. So if we play a 1/1, it gets bigger.
Right.
If we play a 2/2, it would then get bigger.
Yes.
If we played a 2/5,
Right.
then it would get bigger.
Yes.
Because power or toughness.
Correct.
So it would always get bigger. Also, other creatures you control have Evolve.
Oh,
Frick.
Oh, jeez. Oh, it's...
Well, at least all of your cards already have dice on them.
Yes.
So you just tick the dice that's already there up. And you don't have to, in this deck, oh, you frickin' do.
Yeah, you
because
do.
you're copying. You don't need a separate dice to denote how many of each kind of card you have. You do because your commander makes copies of the same thing.
That's right.
I guess you have those copy tokens. You just lay them underneath.
Yeah,
Right?
you figure it out.
Yeah,
You
make
work
a
with what you
system.
have.
If you play this deck, and I'm sure Amy and Tyler and Aaron, they thought of all this, and they have something that denotes copies and stuff. But you got to have a system when you do things like copies and Evolve.
They don't just be putting dice on the table and trying to remember what everything is. It's
Yeah.
outrageous. Here's a card I friggin' like. Exocrine.
Give it a read.
Exocrine is a 2/2 for red, 2 and X. It has Ravenous and Hydra, obviously. Bioplasmic Barrage. When it enters the battlefield, it X damages each other creature and each player.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's Rolling Earthquake, baby.
That
Except
is
it's
cool.
a dude with a giant gun on his back.
That is cool.
I like that one lots.
I like copying this guy when X equals 10 and frickin'
Just rolling everybody. I
and
like
having double counters or extra counters. Man, this is a win con.
yes.
Yeah.
Master Biomancer.
Oh, each other creature you control enters the battlefield with an +1s equal to his power.
Yes. Makes Hydra big.
Yes.
Hardened Scales. We talked about this many times.
If you're adding a counter, add another counter instead. That's not double, that's add one more.
Unbound Flourishing.
Unbound Flourishing is...
This is so good.
This card is... this. I think I've lost to this card too.
Oh, yeah, this card is unbelievable.
Enchantment for green 2. Whenever you cast a permanent spell with mana cost that contains X. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Remember Exocrine.
Yes.
Double the value of X.
Yes.
I shall.
Yes.
Additionally, because there's more.
Of course there's more.
Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell or activate an ability, if that spell or ability's freaking had an X in it, copy that. Remember Drowned in Dreams?
Yes.
So if we're... Oh, man. Okay, that's how we do it.
Yeah.
Drowned in Dreams, X equals 10 is mill 20, is
Right.
mill 40, but we copy that twice.
Yeah, so it's mill 80. Because you have 2 of them.
No, we copy it twice. So each spell would have its 20 copied. Right? So it's frick. I don't even know how much that is.
Lots.
It's 80 or 120. Somebody's dying.
Yeah, somebody's getting
Because
milled up.
nobody has 80 cards in their library on turn 10. If it's 80. If it's 120, maybe you get 2 people.
All right, let's skip over that. Let's skip over that one for a second, and we'll talk about the last one first. Let's do Branching Evolution first.
Yeah, this is another of the most expensive cards in the deck alongside Great Henge and a couple others we'll talk about. But this is if one or more +1s we put onto a creature you control, twice that many +1s are. Yeah. Now, that's the one that's just for us, and it doesn't do tokens.
Yeah.
We do just counters. Now, if this was, or if we could find room for Doubling Season would copy the token copy of a creature that Lucea Kane would have created.
Yeah.
So Doubling Season, yes, it would be good in this deck, but Branching Evolution is just fine because we're worried more about +1s and capitalizing on +1s, like with Exocrine and the last card that we're going to talk about, and Screamer Killer, and that kind of stuff, more than we're worried about tokens.
Yes. Although the tokens are nice.
Yes.
The Doubling Season goes in this deck.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
This is a very good example, though, of a deck where I think Doubling Season would be a win more. Having played against Hydra decks, even mono-green Hydra decks, because they make so much mana and late game they beat so hard, you need all kinds of removal all the time. Doubling Season would just do that more.
All right, last card. This is a good ass card.
I like this one in the deck.
All will be one.
All will be Hydra. So, enchantment for red 3. Whenever you put one or more counters on a permanent or player, all will be one deals that much damage to target opponent, creature an opponent controls, or planeswalker an opponent controls.
Mm-hmm.
So, X equals 10. We're making a 10/10.
Yes.
Somebody's going to take 10 damage.
Yes.
Every time we play a creature.
Correct. So good. So good.
Yes. And things like...
And if you've copied a 10/10 with Lucea Kane, 2 things are going to take 10.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And if 10 is the number, you reach that by like X reduction, or like Hydras cost 4 less, or we're copying it with Lucea Kane's ability. You're going to get added benefit from your turn 1 Hardened Scales and your turn 6 Great Henge, because those things are going to put +1 counters on things, right? And this card, along with Exocrine and Drowned in Dreams, and you can copy it 4 times, are all win conditions in the deck.
Yes.
So
Correct.
I think that's a great time to move over to strengths and weaknesses real quick.
That is the whole deck.
Strengths. Multiple win cons based on things that you're doing anyways.
And all of those strengths are beating. Just beating.
I'll tie it all in here. Things that you're going to do anyways.
Yeah, like buy cards at Fusion for CCO Summer promo code.
Yes.
This deck is basically CCO Summer promo code.
Yes, sir. Oh, you're going to do it anyways. You might as well get a discount when you do. If we're going to beat, we might as well get win conditions that are outside of beating that we're going to do anyways.
That work with beating, yes.
Yeah. Classic. Do you think it checks the boxes?
I think it does. I think Hydras are a classic thing, just like a Scarecrow deck would be, right? Like it's a classic under-supported creature type that WotC is totally trying to bury, scum, and that makes it cool.
I feel like it's jives with big creature stompy, classic archetype, beat down aggro, whatever you want to call it.
The big creature goes
X.deck.
Uh-huh.
I think it also jives, the kids these days say, it jives with Temur and does the Temur thing in that it wants to copy all the stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Super cool. It doesn't heavily rely on Doubling Season. It doesn't need to. So if you
could.
don't want to spend $80, that's fantastic. Weaknesses. Does it too heavily rely on big mana or its commander to do its thing?
Yes.
It does?
Yeah, it does.
Rely on big mana.
100% it does.
Doesn't necessarily rely on the commander, though the commander is part of the mana package.
Yes.
Okay, so just be careful, I guess.
Because without your commander making, like, doubling your giant spells, you're going to play one great big thing, and then somebody's going to path it, and you're like, ah, shit.
Yeah.
And that's what your game is going to be. Whereas if you have your commander out, you're doing the thing better, and you're doing it twice, which means they can't just path it. They have to path and swords it, or wrath it.
Yeah.
Which is an entirely different game action.
Here's the thing from that aren't in the show notes that I just thought of. I think it's better to, instead of do X equals 10 on a Hydra, do 2 Hydras at X equals 5.
That is,
because it's way less invasive.
And way less, it puts a smaller target on your creature as well.
Exactly, yeah. And we've got card draw to support casting 2 spells for less value when value is beating.
Yes.
So, speaking of value, $336 for this deck.
One other weakness in the deck.
Oh, you got
one. There's actually 2, and they're both missed includes. One is you could get way more classic factor out of it if you played a Roshin Meanderer in here.
Oh, yeah.
She taps for 4 to pay for X.
Yes, that's a good one.
Classic Hydra commander. And 2, you can't play Genesis Wave.
Oh?
Because if you Genesis Wave into Hydras, they just eat shit. And Genesis Wave was one of my very favorite things to do in the whole world. And if I could do it twice,
Genesis Wave with the World Tree card that you recommended.
That works.
There you go.
There we have it.
There's a combo.
We've done it.
Well, speaking of value.
Love value.
Roshin Meanderer.
Roshin Meanderer.
Way less money than some of the most expensive cards in the deck.
Yes, it is.
Roshin Meanderer, 20 cents.
Yes.
Great Henge, $55.
No.
Yeah. So $55. The Benevolent Hydra, it's a good one.
Yep.
But $15.
That comes out of that's a jumpstart cards. They're tough to find.
It's a jumpy. Okay. The 4 most expensive lands. This is something that I sometimes look at.
Okay.
Fetches or duels or whatever. Because if you have them, play them. But
Right.
if you see a price tag on a deck like this and say, I can't afford it, well,
immediately look at the land base.
look at the lands and get them out. Look at the Great Henge and say Roshin Meanderer is going to do work just the same.
Yes.
Possibly earlier.
At a fraction of the price.
And then take a look at the most expensive creature. Sure. If you do all that, this deck costs $196.
Hell yeah.
That's cheaper than Commander budget now, right? Like people say like 200 to 250 is where they're comfortable spending if they have to buy every card.
Yeah, and
you're
nobody
spending
has to,
less than 200.
And you don't have to buy every card in this deck because you have most of them probably, or somebody you know does, and they don't play Hydras, and you can just trade them for theirs.
Yeah, there's only one Hydra player like out of every 1,000, I think.
Yes, there's none at the LGS that we play at. I used to play Hydras, but took the deck apart because I didn't have the tools that this one has.
Because you were maybe playing mono green.
I was playing Gruul.
Yeah, okay.
And it ran right into that. Here's my huge threat. Okay, it dies. Oh, fuck, okay.
Yeah.
And that's what the deck just was, or I would just steamroll somebody and then get owned. And
yeah.
So there you go. Whereas this deck, because of the addition of blue and because you have Tyranids and some of the cards are just more powerful now than when I was playing a deck like this, it just is better now. And it has a lot more survivability than I think people think. And because there's so much haste and so much bigliness in it, you can pick people apart pretty quick with this deck, and I know that because I've seen it.
Yeah, yeah. And it scales from mid-game to late game really well. I like it. So, Aaron, thank you for sending it in. Tyler and Amy, thank you for building it. Built by friends for friends. I think that's important.
I like that,
because that's something that's going to keep the deck around and keep it a topic of conversation between people.
Yep.
and kind of bring people together when they play with it or against it or just interact with regards to whatever the deck represents to them, for them, with them.
That sounds like a lovely final thought of the day.
Hey,
Ryan.
look at me go.
Yeah, look at you
Oh,
go. You're philosophizing up in here. But speaking of being in here, we got to get out of here because we're late for our event. We got to get out of here. So big thanks to Editor Joe, everybody for listening. FusionGamingOnline.com, where you can use special promo code CCO Summer to save 5% off all your Hydra needs, all your Commander needs, all your gaming needs in general. They're great people, and they support us, which is fantastic. Thank you so much for listening, and we are going to be back with another classic deck on another episode of Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song!